and has nothing to do with real estate. And in fact, it's so simple that it's titled, now get this, How You Can Make $4,000 a Day Sitting Around Your Kitchen Table in Your Underwear. Sound interesting? $4,000 a day sitting around your kitchen table in your underwear. I mean, where did that come from?
Well, when I first started doing this, the phone would start ringing and orders would be coming in the first thing in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and I was sleeping in my boxer shorts, as I usually do. And I run downstairs, I pick up the phone, and I'm taking orders, and there's so many phone calls and orders coming in. Next thing I know, it's 11, 12 o'clock. And this woman, Mary, used to come over, pick up some paperwork for me, and she'd show up all the time, and there I was sitting in my boxer shorts. And it happened so many times that finally the joke kind of got around the neighborhood, and everybody said, here's a guy that works in his underwear, and that's how we got the title for the program.
But just a few years ago, you weren't even living in your own home. You were, borrowed living space, tons of debt. How'd that happen?
Well, initially I did the thing everybody else does. I had a job, the way you're supposed to do it, where you go to work every day and you wear a suit and you work for 12, 14 hours. You never see your kids. You're on a treadmill. You hate what you're doing. You can't stand Sundays because you know Monday's coming. I mean, that whole thing, right? You know what it's like.
Absolutely.
So I got out of all that and I decided I was going to go into some kind of mail order or direct marketing because I wanted to be at home and see if I could get money coming in. And I studied all these books and bought all these courses, and I did it the way everybody tells you to do it, that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. So I figured, well, they must know what they're talking about, so I did it the way they told me, and ended up, none of it worked for me, and I got so broke that we lost our house. I had to move into my sister-in-law's basement, living with my wife, Peggy, and 3 kids on the couch. I was a big embarrassment to everybody that knew me. I was a big loser. I felt like a loser, and I just kept figuring there was maybe something wrong with me, and I was really, really down and out. You could not be more financially or emotionally depressed than I was at that time.
But mail order, I've always read the stories. I mean, there's lots of people making lots of money in mail order. What happened? Why wasn't it working for you?
Well, what they teach you to work is this conventional wisdom that you go and you run these little ads and you sell a book, maybe you're some kind of product for $20 or $30, and just the money just comes pouring in. Well, for me, that never worked. And see, the problem is what I discovered later was that it's a mass market. They teach you to go market to everybody, and it's just too big. You can't do it. It costs too much money. You just can't make it work. And what I discovered was if everybody's your customer, nobody's your customer, and it just put me down on as low as you could possibly get.
So what turned the corner? What happened where you made some discovery and changed your success patterns?
Well, when I was doing this and it wasn't working, finally one day I got smart enough to say, hey, Jeff, maybe this isn't working. Maybe you should try something different. I'm kind of smart like that.
Good for you.
I can figure things out. And I finally decided maybe I'm doing this backwards. This mass market thing just doesn't work. It doesn't seem to make sense. I had a product, and then I was trying to find people to sell it to. That's the way you're always supposed to do it, right? You find a product or you make a product, and you find people to sell it to.
Right, yep.
Well, I decided maybe I'll do this the other way. Why don't I find a market first, a group of people that want something, find out exactly what they want, and then just give them what they want. It made so much more sense to me, so I started doing that, and it worked instantly. I mean, from the first day I started doing it, it worked. And I was like, duh, maybe this is the whole solution here. Why don't I find people who want something and just give it to them? What could be easier? What could be more simple? And that's what turned the corner for me.
Yeah, but what is it about your mail order success system that makes it work so well?
We don't want people going out and doing the same thing everybody else is doing. We all know how that works. It doesn't work, right? We want to go out and do something different, and that's what this whole concept is finding these niche markets, advertising there where nobody else is, where there's no competition, you're the whole deal, and you already know what the people want, and they're buying it from you. I mean, what could be simpler and easier, and you don't have to fight everybody else.
So it's about working smart.
Working smart and making sense.
So are you still doing it, or are you just now sharing it with others and teaching how to do it?
No, actually, while we're sitting here on this TV show right now, I've got money coming into the house, and I'm not there to get it because it just keeps rolling in. That's the beauty of this, is that this money just comes in no matter if you're there or not.
You know, the one thing I want to ask you, when you first made the discovery, you placed your first ad, you were $100,000 in debt, and all of a sudden, here come the checks. What did that feel like?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's an awesome feeling. I mean, I was so excited to see money coming in every day. It's hard to describe, especially with living in my sister-in-law's basement and being as broke as I was. And in fact, I had told Peggy once the money started coming in that first month that we needed a microwave oven because we didn't have one. We had a little child that needed bottles being warmed up, and I couldn't afford to buy one. And I told her that if we hit $10,000 in sales that month, I was going to buy a microwave oven. And we hit $13,000 the first month, so I went out and I went to Best Buy and bought myself a microwave oven. And I got to tell you, that felt great buying that oven. I know it sounds silly, but that is just, when you're that broke, it means a lot to you.
So you pay off your debts and you get a microwave oven, huh?
Yes, all in one time.
So I know a lot of people are probably asking right now, okay, that's good for Jeff Paul. He's obviously a bright guy. He had persistence. He had determination. He went off and he did it. But, I mean, can others really do what you're describing, can they establish the kind of lifestyle you're talking about?
Yeah, anybody can do this, Jim. I mean, I don't have a college degree. I mean, I was a person who couldn't even write anything more than a grocery list before I got started doing this. Anybody can do this because it's so simple and easy. And the key is I'm giving people step-by-step instructions, just like a cookbook, just like a recipe. If people follow my system and do what I tell them to do, anybody can do this. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, how broke you are, how rich you are, what you're working full-time, not full-time. Does not matter. The system is so easy to follow. Anybody can do this.
All right, let's take a look at some of the people that have had great success with the mail order success system. Let's watch.
With your system, we started immediately. You know, we followed exactly what you tell us to do in your program, and with it, just, you know, I think within about a month, we were up and rolling, and money started flowing in fast.
I think the biggest thing is the level of detail. I mean, you painstakingly go step by step into more and more detail of exactly how it's done. And it's more of an overall knowledge of detail that you get that you just don't get in the other systems. You will definitely have everything you need to be successful.
I challenge someone to be able to sit down with this course and not be able to be making 10 or 20,000 in a month. And that may sound exaggerated, but I'm saying this because I believe it's absolutely true. Anybody can do that. It doesn't matter your age, in my opinion. It doesn't matter nationality. You're not, you know, have all the prejudice that you maybe do in a workforce environment, because you're calling the shots. You're in business for yourself. And you don't have to be handsome. If you're ugly, it doesn't matter, because the system is home-based, and you never have to deal with the customer face-to-face anyway. And so there's a lot of privacy, and it's just a wonderful system.
I like working on my home in my blue jeans. I do have underwear too, but I work out of my blue jeans. And I answer the phone when I feel like it. I don't answer the phone when I don't feel like it. I can get a workout in the middle of the day if I want to. I can hit the golf course in the afternoon if I want to. That in itself is freedom and wealth, as far as I'm concerned. It is like none other in the world.
My previous career had some things that were wonderful and nice about it. Quite honestly, it's like night and day compared to what I'm doing now. This is, I'm doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. I really am my own boss. I've got, my time really belongs to me, and quite honestly, I'm having a ball. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Wow, you've got some fantastic success stories. Congratulations.
I tell you, it's so exciting. I mean, how can you do any better than that? It's just unbelievable. I've taught thousands of people how to do this because it's so simple. I laid the whole thing out like a cookbook. It's just, you know, you follow the recipe. Step 1, step 2, step 3, boom, you got it. As long as you can follow a recipe, if you can read a cookbook, you can do this system.
So what are the ingredients? Let's get into it. Talk specifics with me.
Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to find a market. You want to find a group of people that are interested or have a common interest, and that you can get to these people. The second thing is you want to find out what they want. And this is the big key. This is where everybody blows it. You want to find out what they want. Why try sell stuff to people that they don't want? The third thing you want to do is you want to be able to do this without any money or almost no money. Now, you got to remember when I got started, I told you how little money I had. In fact, my first ad that worked that brought in the $13,000, it only cost me $138.
Wow.
Okay, the next thing is you want to not have any inventory. Inventory is a horrible thing. Inventory, you have to spend the money ahead of time. You have to leave it lay there, and then people maybe will buy it, maybe they won't. My system is set up so that you don't have to have any inventory. It's something you can do part-time. You can do an hour or two a week, and you can do this right in your home without having to go through quitting your job, and you can even keep your job if you want to. The next thing is the people that you sell this stuff to, they're going to love you for selling this stuff to them, because they're getting exactly what they want, because you found out what they wanted. You're giving them exactly what they want, and they're going to love you and thank you, and they'll be glad to pay high prices for it, because people pay for what they want.
Boy, the way you lay that out like that, like bang, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it does sound so easy. So for more information about how you can order his system, if you want to get started, be sure to call the number you see on the bottom of your screen. So tell me a little bit about what you mean by the word niche marketing. I mean, this whole area of targeting small or relatively small groups of people. What's that all about, and how do you find them?
Okay, well, first of all, the whole idea of a niche market is just a group of people that have some common interest. It could be that they have a job or an industry that they do together. It could be they have a hobby or things they like to do. It could be they have a medical problem that's a common thing. There's all these thousands of markets out there where people have some common interest. So that's all a niche market is, just a group of people that have something in common. And the beauty of it is there's all these publications that go to these niche markets. I guarantee you've never heard of these things. You wouldn't believe how many magazines and newspapers go out to all these different niche markets, and they read them from cover to cover because it's their interest, what they are passionate about or what they're really concerned with.
Yeah, but I'm guessing, I don't know, I mean, aren't those expensive ads to place in those types of publications?
No, no. In fact, they're cheap as you can imagine. Remember my first ad was only $138? See, everybody thinks it costs a ton of money to do these ads. It doesn't. These publications are starving for advertisers, and a lot of times you can get ads cheaper than you can in other publications. It's a total misconception. That's why when I figured out how to do this, I was shocked at how cheap and inexpensive it is to get involved in this.
How about the creativity and the knowledge involved in knowing what to say in an ad? I mean, isn't that reserved for all the copywriters on Madison Avenue?
No, you don't have to know how to do that. My system is laid out with models and templates you can follow. You just plug and chug. You take your own information, you just stick it in the models. Again, it's just like everybody's paint by numbers. You know how you the red is number 7 and the blue is number 6? Well, that's what I teach people to do. Our system has basically a paint by numbers aspect to it. You just plug the stuff in and you go with it. And we've taught so many people how to do this in markets all over the world, and it works over and over and over. The formula just keeps on working.
Let me ask you this. So many people, or a few people I should say, are teaching others how to sell $20 items, $30 items, you know, place thousands of ads across the country. You have such a different approach.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about that stuff, it doesn't make any sense because you're going to the mass market, you know, and the cost to do that is just incredible. Plus, everybody's selling the same product, and they're in the same newspapers, same magazines. It doesn't make any sense. My concept is to go the other way, is not to follow the path of conventional wisdom, to go out and do something different. If you want to change your life, you're going to have to do stuff different, and that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. It's that simple to do if you understand what you have to do. You just find the markets, find what they want, and give it to them. It's that simple, 1, 2, 3. If you can read a recipe and follow a cookbook, that's all you need to know to do this system.
Simple and easy. That's what I keep hearing from Jeff Paul's how to make $4,000 a day sitting around your kitchen table in your underwear. I mean, that's the title, and that's what he's doing. And